What's up, guys? It's Richie Rich back yet again, and today I'm going to be bringing you the last part of the Majin Buu Saga review. Be sure to check this one out. So previously, the dog, had been shot by the two evil men who came to Boo's house and end up, shooting Hercule and the dog B, and this managed to cause like the fat Majin Buu to erupt. And while his anger got the best of him and he began to erupt, smoke started to come out of the holes in the top of his head, and the smoke A was able to create the another Boo, which was the Slim Boo slash Evil Boo. So it was the deep like evilness in Fat Boo was able to create another entity, and this led to the creation of Evil Boo. The first thing when Evil Boo when he's there, first thing he ends up doing is destroying Van Zan. I finally found out his name, the blonde-haired killer who killed Hercule and B. He goes straight to him, and immediately Van Zan starts shooting him, and Evil Boo makes quick work of him, blasts him, blasts him away, destroying him immediately. And then Evil Boo goes to Fat Boo to confront him. It's here that because the main Z files are on Kami's lookout, Piccolo and Dende can sense Evil Boo's power, and they already know that he's already stronger than the Fat Boo. Again, it's not really. There's no really particular reason why he's stronger than Fat Boo, because at the end he's a part of Boo, but the only thing I can probably say why he's stronger is maybe because he's just pure evil. That's why he has a greater power than Fat Boo. But again, like power levels now at this stage make no sense. I think there's no like actual reading like on their power levels and that, so you don't really know how strong they are. But Evil Boo, he quickly gets the upper hand of Fat Boo. Then when Fat Boo tries to use like a last maneuver to take him out, he ends up using his chocolate beam. Evil Boo is able to blow it, like while the Fat Boo's shooting the chocolate beam. Evil Boo is able to divert it back to him, turning the Fat Boo into chocolate. And with this, Evil Boo is able to grab that chocolate that Fat Boo was turned into and eat it. Now, for whatever reason, Evil Boo, once he eats the fat Majin Buu, he transforms again. Boo transforms, and he transforms into a tall, muscular, pink version of Boo, which is now called Super Boo. I honestly don't understand like why, because like the evilness left the Fat Boo, and then when the evil one swallows the Fat Boo, that turns to Super Boo. But nonetheless, the only thing that justifies this is Super Boo. He looks like an actual villain, man. The character looks cool. This is a villain you could rank up to Frieza, to Cell, and even some of like the great movie villains like Broly or Cooler, but it actually looks like a villain. It's just I just only wish that he was there, like instead of Fat Boo. Fat Boo should have, like I said, I ranted on that earlier, but Fat Boo should have never been there. But Super Boo looks like what especially for like the final saga. That's how a villain should. That's how the main antagonist of the series should look like. So it's pretty cool how he looks. In his new transformed state, Super Boo wastes very little time, and he immediately flies to where Kami's lookout is. Because of his new powers, he's able to sense even the furthest of like high power levels, so he's able to track down Piccolo, Dende, Krillin, Yamcha, the other Z5s that Kami's lookout. And once he gets there, he wants to basically fight Gotenks because he remembers when he was Fat Buu that Goku had promised him that a fighter with extraordinary power will be able to fight him in 2 days. So he goes to Piccolo and demands, where's this great fighter that I've heard about? In a desperation attempt to buy some time, Piccolo tells Super that the fighter that you're challenging, Gotenks is not ready yet. He's taking a nap. You can amuse yourself by like slaughtering the human race, and so Piccolo tells basically tells Super that you can kill all the humans. Then you can have your fight with Gotenks and that and really, really surprising moment from Piccolo, because he he's changed so much. You'd never suspect him to do something like that, especially now he's with Kami. He's the Earth's guardian. He's there to protect every single Earthling, But Piccolo then in his internal thought, he says, "Forgive me, I can always wish you back with the Dragon Balls," which is just a common thing with the Buu Saga. It's just the over reliance of the Dragon Balls. Every single problem, if I've got a broken leg, I can just wish it away. It's just a common theme within the saga. Which I'm gonna touch more in the once I've finished this part. Yeah, but going back once Piccolo's told Super Buu actually smirks at him and he starts to walk around the Kami's lookout, looking at all the, basically seeing the Earth and all the Earthlings below, from below, and he comes back to Piccolo, laughs again, and then what he does an attack which is called the Human Extinction Attack, which in one move he's able to destroy every Earthling on the planet Earth in one attack. So this leaves Piccolo out of options. What happens is he decides to take Super Buu to fight Goten and Trunks. But what he does is to buy time, he takes the long way around Kami's lookout. So he goes up, down the stairs, all the way around the Kami's lookout just to stall. So like Goten and Trunks, which Krillin gets Goten and Trunks into the hyperbolic time chamber to do at least some training before they actually fight Boo, because I believe it's for every minute outside in the real world, in the normal world, it's like 6 hours, I believe, it's something like that. But yeah, they were able to get extra training and become even stronger to when they actually fuse and they actually turn into Gotenks. So like when Piccolo's finally led a Super Buu into the time chamber, he meets Goten and Trunks already waiting for him, already in the position to perform the fusion to turn to Goten. So yeah, they successfully transform, and to Piccolo's delight, they're even stronger than when they fought the Fat Majin Buu early on, and they start to attack Super Buu, but you can easily tell that Boo's not taking it. He's toying with them, toying with Gotenks. He's taking it lightly. He already knows that he's far superior than Gotenks, so he doesn't even try to fight him. He doesn't even use maybe a tenth of his full power. Whilst Gotenks is really playing around, trying to name his moves. It's just a fight that's just very childish, and Super Blue's very mature. He's not like the Fat Blue. He's very mature villain, So like, this fight, the fight, even when it's continued all the way to once they actually the whole thing when they exit the hyperbolic time chamber, because Piccolo feels Super Blue's way too powerful. He ends up destroying the door, not allowing, which kind of not allow them to exit out. They both Super Bowl and Gotenks, after they're able to make a portal to escape coming to look to escape out of the hyperbolic time chamber. After Gotenks turns SSJ3. But I mean, the whole fight in general, man, it just feels like Super Buu was just way stronger than Gotenks. And I know a lot of people say that because Gotenks is SSJ3, SSJ3 Gotenks is stronger than Goku, but me personally, I think that's a load of garbage. You can tell Super Buu the whole fight he was not worried. He was taking it completely easy. From when they first fight from Gotenks base to Gotenks Super Saiyan to SSJ3 when they're fighting on the deserted Earth. It was nothing that Super Buu couldn't handle. Even though near the end of Gotenks' fusion he was beating up Super Buu, I still believe this was because because Super Buu knew that Super SSJ3 Gotenks fusion was running out, as he even pointed out when they're fighting. I think Gotenks buries him into like a ditch, and even Gotenks foolishly tells him that like I've only got 5 minutes left on the fusion. So Super Buu could have just been playing time. And the other thing is that Super Buu already knew about Gohan's power. He didn't know about Gohan, but he knew about like a tremendous power, coming to where like these lot were fighting. So it was just like being patient, playing the time, waiting for the boys' fusion to run out. When Gotenks now splits back to Goten and Trunks, the boys. Now, what actually happens is because the fusion is starting to wear off, they turn back to base Gotenks. So this is normal Gotenks, and he just starts playing the scene. Then quickly he reverts back to Goten and Trunks. Because like Super Buu doesn't see this as a challenge, he begins to sleep. And when Goten and Trunks try to, again because they're children, they try to provoke him, and but Piccolo tells them to come back. We need to prepare for the next fusion, and probably the coolest moment that happens in the Majin Buu saga. This sets like everything that's happened before to nothing. Is the arrival of Mystic slash Ultimate slash Super Gohan, whatever you call him. I'm gonna call him Badass Gohan. Gohan arrives on the Mofo scene. Now, this is where I feel, from watching all that tediousness from Gohan in the Great Saiyaman saga to the boys trying to learn how to fuse all that trash with that fat Majin Buu, all that like mediocre stuff. It feels like this is like what you've been waiting for, like the strongest versus the strongest, Ultimate Gohan, Mr. Gohan versus Super Buu, the biggest Buu of the lot, So it's amazing. But guess what happens? This fight, which is sort of built up like behind the scenes, it's still like originally. I don't think originally, but I think Toriyama may have wanted Gohan to defeat Buu, but maybe just at the end he wanted to just stretch the Buu saga, because that's what it feels like. This saga feels so stretched. But getting back onto this, when Gohan shows up, it's clear that he is completely stronger than Super Buu. He dominates him in a way that Gotenks couldn't even dream of dominating Super Buu. But however, like Gohan being on top is very short lived, because like very soon after, which I think is a big mistake, um, all about like Super Buu ends up doing this, like he blows himself up, to take the other Z fighters away, Piccolo, Trunks, and Gohan with him, and Gohan and them like go search for like the survivors with what's his name, Piccolo and Goten and Trunks to search for Hercule and Dende, and when they end up finding them, Super Buu ends up coming back, with a plan to like absorb Goten and Trunks, but he wanted to wait for them to fuse and absorb the power of Gotenks as SSJ3 into his body. the biggest problem with this is for a long length of time they built up Ultimate Gohan's like the powers like being awakened by old Kai about it was such a big deal. This is meant to be like some legendary powers and that and for Gohan to finally get to Earth and he's dominating Buu and then like in the next like in a short amount of time after Superbird absorbs Gotenks, he starts getting pummeled down. That it makes very little sense how like Gohan he comes there as the main guy and it's only about like a couple episodes. You let Gohan like fight Super Buu, as like he's stronger than him. But they let like Gotenks fight Super Buu for more than like 7 to 8 episodes, in the hyperbolic time chamber and then on Earth. That just did not make sense to me. Gohan, it felt here that Gohan was the guy to destroy this Buu. It felt like he took, the torch was passed from like Goku to Gohan, but I think it fell apart. Like when, he had to go absorb it, and it just went wrong, I believe. Due to the amazing power increase that Super Buu got from absorbing SSJ3 Gotenks, Gohan is completely outclassed. He has it is nothing he can possibly do. He even reverts to hiding. Sometimes hiding. Waiting for like maybe possibly the fusion to run out and that. But at this point, on Baka, Supreme Kai's planet, they're out of options. Okai ends up giving his life to Goku, which again I believe was like the wrong thing to do. Especially when Goku even tells Supreme Kai that all the people who should save Earth should be the living ones, not the dead ones. It felt like such a thing like they got forced Goku back into the scene. Goku didn't need to play a part in this. He was already gone. But Goku gets his life back. He comes back, and they basically go with the whole idea of another fusion, which this one is Potara. So like after like Goku gets the Potara earrings from the Kai's instant transmission to he goes to Earth and he briefly fights Super Buu as his J3 for a while, but again it completely outmatched. Goku's plan was to fuse with Gohan originally, but as he's trying to do that, because I believe the boy's fusion wears off, Super Buu then absorbs Mystic Gohan and that, but coincidental Vegeta got given the same like one day he can use on Earth like Goku had earlier on in the Buu Saga in the World Tournament. Vegeta is now back on Earth, so Goku then moves. Goku then does the instant transmission to where Vegeta is, and then he begs him to do Potara fusion with him. So like my thoughts on Vegito, um, I think it looks cool. I mean, it's kind of a cool idea that they had another type of fusion, which is even stronger than the where Goku learned his fusion from. The Potara earrings. But like it feels like he was only included like as a late kind of thing. Like they basically didn't want to go with the Gohan defeating Super Buu, which it should have just ended there. They wanted to stretch it on and like let's let Goku and Vegeta, fuse because we already let the boys do it. Let's let them, let's let their fathers fuse. And similar to what happens with Tanks dominating Gohan, the reverse happens. Vegito is now completely stronger than Super Buu. It's just what happened to these fights that were like like even though someone was stronger, they weren't vastly stronger. Like even when Goku first fought Frieza and Namek. They were kind of like they weren't completely even, but even though Frieza put his power level down, it's like Goku and Frieza they were still fighting like on par. Similar to when Goku fought Cell in the Cell games. Cell could have destroyed Goku, but the fights were very interesting because they were roughly around the same kind of area level. But here in this fight, it's just Vegito. The only reason Vegeta didn't destroy Super Buu at the first instance because of the boys that were absorbed because of Piccolo, Trunks, Goten, and Gohan were already inside Super Buu. So he wanted to stall enough time so that Super Buu can absorb him and then he can rescue them before he destroys them. When Vegito is absorbed by Super Buu, it shows us that he actually had a barrier. So once he's actually inside Buu, he was able to maintain his barrier. After a while, he actually takes it down, and Vegito splits back into Vegito and Goku. For me, even when I watched this when I was a kid, I never understood why Goku and Vegeta defused from Vegeta when Old Kai specifically said that Potara fusion was permanent. I know they come up with the like explanation. It's not even an explanation. Goku thinks that because of all the magical elements inside Buu, that that's the reason why Vegito split. But it's not a clear kind of like a reason why they end up diffusing. It just another person who even spoke about this on YouTube. Check out Team Gohan Fighter. He even says the same thing. It makes no sense. Why they built up all similar how they built up Ultimate Gohan. They built up the Patara, then immediately it just gets slashed slashed through the legs. Ended. The inside Boo bit is nothing special. Goku and Vegeta just battled their way out of there just to find the pods of Piccolo, Gohan, and the boys. In there, they do fight like not a hologram, but like and imagery created by Boo. So they make a version of like Gotenks, Gohan, and Piccolo, to fight Goku and Vegeta inside Boo, because Super Boo can, even though he can sense that Goku and Vegeta are still alive. They didn't get turned into like Boo or they didn't get absorbed. So like Goku and Vegeta are successful in escaping um, Super Buu inside Buu. They get Gohan, Piccolo, Goten, and Trunks, and they free the Fat Buu. For some reason, Fat Buu was still alive inside, even though Evil Buu ate him as chocolate. Which again brings up another interesting plot hole because Deborah was turned into chocolate by Fat Boo earlier when they fought, and he was eaten. So why is it when the evil Boo eats Fat Boo, turns Fat Boo into chocolate and eats him, he transformed into Super Boo, and then the pod is still contained in him. That for me just does not make sense at all. And even to add on that, the people on Kami's Lookout, where there was like Bulma, Krillin, all that lot, they were all turned into chocolate, Videl as well. But when they got into chocolate, it's like they instantly died. They instantly died, and was sent to Otherworld. They were like clouds. Deborah, Bulma, Videl, and Chi Chi. Chi Chi was turned into an egg, but you get the gist of it. It's like it's just big plot holes that circle around the Buu arc. Goku and Vegeta are able to escape inside of Buu, and to the best thing they escape with Piccolo, Gohan, and the boys. But this leads from Majin Buu, Super Buu, to transform once again, and he transforms into a childish version of himself titled Kid Buu. Even with the flashback that Kabio guy talks about like his past encounter with Kid Buu, I still don't really understand the forms and transformations. This is meant to be the original Buu, like the way Bibidi's father created him. So this is meant to be how Boo should have always been, from just absorbing, from the constant absorbing, he took all these multiple forms. But this is meant to be the original Boo, you know. But again, my thoughts on this Boo. I'm just like the Fat Boo. I am not a fan of Kid Boo. I cannot believe this is what they used to end, not just end Boo up, but the final villain of the series is a kid version of Boo. You already had kids in Goten and Trunks fighting like Super Boo. Then you have like a kid version of Boo as the final villain of the series. It just is so whacked. But nonetheless, Kid Buu when he first debuts, he wastes little time. He ends up using a blast to destroy the whole planet Earth. Only from quick thinking from Kabiyo Kai, they're able to transport Goku and Vegeta and Dende and Trunks away from the planet Earth before it's destroyed. For some reason, Goku, again, when it comes to like wasted, so much stuff is wasted during this arc. They went through all that trouble just to go inside Boo and take Goten, Trunks, Gohan, and Piccolo. And then just moments later they end up dying. They end up getting killed from Kid Buu. So what was the point of that? You know, and again, what was the point of the earlier wishes? The earlier wishes to bring like the people back. It was just all wasted. The fight on Supreme Kai's planet, between Goku, Vegeta, and Kid Buu, I think Goku fights first. It is very average. It's nothing compared to the legendary battles between like Frieza, Cell, or even the Sand battle in the Sand Saga between Goku and Vegeta. Is very very average at best. And interesting point that's made. Before SSJ2 Goku fights Kid Buu. This is when like them two like do rock paper scissors to decide who's gonna fight Kid Buu first. Goku even mentions that he could have beat Kid Buu. I'm sorry, Fat Majin Buu. When he was trying to delay for time for Trunks to return back with the Dragon Raider. So all this he could have prevented all this destruction. All this like Kid Buu destroying everything. The Buu destroying everything. Goku could have just ended Fat Buu there because at that time Fat Buu had not absorbed no one. So he could have just taken him out then. But I know why it wasn't because Goku. It got to this point in the saga where the over reliance of the Dragon Balls just became ridiculous. And it's like what leads into like all that bullshit in Dragon Ball GT and that which I'm okay even warns them about though. But like yeah, the whole thing of like oh if this happens we'll just wish it away and that I just don't think that's what the Dragon Balls were intended for. It wasn't able to be like oh I can just use this anytime I'm in trouble. Like oh let's just wish everything away and that. But again, going back to the fight, Goku turns SSJ3 again to fight him. He even says he can beat that Kid Buu as a SSJ3, full powered SSJ3 can beat Kid Buu. Which clearly determines that Super Buu was the strongest Buu of them all. And Kid Buu's definitely weaker than Super Buu. Goku loses his full power, so he has to let Vegeta takes his turn. Vegeta takes switches with Goku and he fights him. So it's just back and forth action and that, and they're able to beat him by the spirit bomb that they gathered from all of planet Earth, and I believe some of the other places like I think it was not making that, but it was Earth and Otherworld and different places and that. That part was okay. The whole spirit bomb. I mean, if you wanted to end it that way, what I mean. But again, like just needless wishes. Like when they wish for Goku to get back to full power. When he's doing the spirit bomb and Boo's pushing it back. Because Goku's out of power. They just wish for Goku to get back to full power. Like what happened to Senzu being to something. It's such a wasted wish. I do understand like what was on the line in that part. Back in the day they would have used a Senzu being. I do understand then they couldn't have come back to heal him, but it was just so it's so like Dragon Ball dominant. Like the wishes could just gone. It just gets ridiculous at this stage. So after the defeat of Kid Buu, the Z5s make their way back to Earth and that, and they actually go with the Fat Majin Buu because the Fat Majin Buu was he was spat out by Kid Buu before he was destroyed and by far the wish that they make after they're back on Earth has to be of all of the wishes. This one for me really bit the cake. It was the one that for Fabu can now live amongst the Earthlings, and what they'll do is they'll wish away everyone's memory, so they'll forget about like all of Fat Boo, all of Bibidi, all of Boo existence, so Boo can live as a common person now. I mean, what was I just don't understand. This wasn't even like they didn't even have to show this. It felt like a filler thing to do if that even makes sense. Like there was no point of this whatsoever. Because at the end, Fat Boo he mainly stays with Hercule anyway. So what was the point of using a wish? Like is it that easy to get the Dragon Balls now? But again, like moving on, the story shifts onto the Peaceful World saga, and this is like the last part of the series, with the tournament featuring Kid Buu's resurrected version, and who is now Oob, and Goku fights him in the World Tournament. I mean it's again you can't really like analyze that fight, because Goku is only there just to see like his power, because Goku in Goku's plan, what he was what was he intending to do was to take Uber as his student, and he can teach him. He can basically be the new Goku to defend the Earth, in the future, because like he already failed with like Trunks, Goten, and Gohan. If you don't believe me, just watch the Buu Saga. Saga had an epic, had it failed countless times, and that so like he basically takes Oob to be the new champion and new guardian, not guardian, but the new like savior of Earth and that. But if you've watched GT, that doesn't go nowhere. But folks, that's a review for another day. So in closing, I think the Buu arc had the potential to be the best arc of all of them of Frieza, Cell, and Sand Saga. Especially where they left off from the Cell Saga. Like Gohan being super, the strongest. Taking over the mantle of Goku. It should have headed in that direction. Gohan, because the story follows Gohan so much all the way until like Buu comes out. Then he ends up coming back and he completely gets destroyed by it completely gets dominated by Super Buu, like where I personally believe, and I know there's other people who, believe on have the same opinion of like old Mystic Gohan should have been the one to destroy Buu. It didn't have to get stretched out to making Vegito, Gotenks fighting Buu for way too long. It could have just ended there. And on the Boo character, I think is again he's not the best of all the DBZ villains. He's just very unique. But the problem is with him is he's not built it up like the other villains. Like the traditional format for all the villains is they get stronger by each transformation. Frieza's base form to his first transformation to his second form to his third form to 100% form, they're all stronger, same as the cell. When he absorbs 17, he absorbs 18, then he becomes super perfect cell. But with Boo, it's like each transformation, you kind of don't know which one's stronger or which one's weaker, because there's no really any explanation to justify, like, oh, why this Boo is stronger, A clear example is when Evil Boo fights Fat Boo, why is he that strong? Why is he stronger than Fat Boo? Weevil Boo stronger than Fat Boo when he's a part of him. I don't understand it. You can't just say because he's evil that he's stronger than him. Or why is it when the Fat Boo is taken out of Super Boo that he turns to Kid Boo? It's just like major inconsistencies and plot holes. But for me, I think the main one that I really got annoyed about the Buu Saga. I think it was the reliance of the Dragon Balls way too much. It was used for pointless cases, man. Like the one when they wished back all the people Vegeta for Vegeta to the ones that Vegeta destroyed at the tournament, only for Buu to use the human extinction attack and wipe out the whole Earth, everyone on Earth. You know, that was just what was the point of that? They could have saved that for another time. And then with the childish themes, like Gotenks fighting Super Buu. He has ghosts that look like him. It just felt very immature. And especially coming off how serious Cell Saga and the Frieza Saga and even the Sand Saga was. It got to some very immature. A lot of the moments reminded me of Dragon Ball. You know, and I know a lot of people compare Dragon Ball GT onto Dragon Ball. But I honestly believe like there's signs in the Buu Saga. It's not as bad as GT. But there's signs in the Buu Saga of it being like the downfall of the series, where it was at its lowest point. I think they were fine with just they were fine with ending it in the Cell arc. There was no reason to continue. By then, there was already about like 200 episodes. But they wanted to continue it. Um, there are like good moments. I think like Vegeta's sacrifice. That's like a terrific, stand moment. It just shows like how Vegeta has changed from when you first see him in the Sand Saga to now. He's ready to risk his life for others he cares about. But like and Goku turning SSJ3 again, it's a pointless transformation because it's not used to defeat the main villain in the series. It's just cool when he transforms, because you never thought that could happen, But yeah. Other than that, it just feels very like mediocre and not on the same par as the other sagas that preceded this. So, like, if I had to score the DBZ, sagas, Sand Saga, I'd give it a strong 9. Frieza Saga is definitely my best, my favorite. I'd definitely give that 10. Cell Saga is equally good. You gotta give that 10. I would give Majin Buu Saga a 5 out of 10. I'd say it's got some good points. It's got some good moments and it's got some bad moments. It's like in the middle. It's like I said, it's not as bad as GT, but it's nowhere near as good as the other sagas. But yeah, that's my opinion on the Majin Buu saga. Never thought this video would be this long, but yeah, if you get a chance, if you like the video, like, thumbs up it, subscribe, and stay tuned because I assure you Richie Rich will be back yet again. Peace to fingers.